You're welcome to come to your nice, easy pose, comfortable position already. Start feeling your body, doing a little scan of what's feeling icky, bit stuck, bit stagnant, maybe frustrated. Start to tune into yourself. The sound is good. Is the sound good? Hi, Jack. Cool. Yeah, and we're gonna slowly bring that attention into ourselves, feeling ourselves grounded. Maybe continue to clear your space, make yourself comfortable however feels right. Start to bring that mind a little bit lower frequency, let the chatter slow down. Let yourself really be here. Isn't it a beautiful day today? Super nice. Maybe you've got a garden, a green space, maybe you're in your garden. You can feel that beautiful sun rays shining down on you. Maybe you can hear birds and tune into your surroundings. Feel present in the moment that you're in. Feeling that gratitude wash over you. You're here. We're all able in this time, in this space, to take a little bit of extra attention, a little bit of extra care over our bodies, our minds, and we're realizing the importance of that. And we're seeing all these opportunities that weren't ever there before, like joining in on a free live stream, doing a free live stream. I've never done one before. So yeah, it's quite an exciting time. Feel that gratitude. Feel that thankful energy filling up within you, filling up within everyone around you, the space that you're in, your whole household. And I think it's probably time to start. So if you're not already, find yourself in a nice comfy seated position. Legs crossed, one heel in front of the other. Allow your knees to fall out to the side, your hands come to your thighs, however feels nice. And feeling the spine lifting up out of the pelvis. And your shoulders directly on top of your pelvis. And feel that straight line, the plumb line of your spine, directly perpendicular to the floor. In this moment, go inwards. Close your eyes. Feel yourself within yourself, within yourself. Tune into that deepest space of contemplation, of connectedness. Allow your attention to come to your breath. The rise and fall of your chest, the sound of your breath flowing in and out through your nostrils. Allow your inhales to become deeper, filling up the belly, the chest, the throat. Pausing and exhaling the throat, the chest and the belly. Deepening that breath. Inhale again, belly, chest and throat. And exhaling throat, chest and belly. Continue with this cycle of breath. Feel it flow up through you and feel it wash over you as you exhale. Inhaling light, washing it through your body, and exhaling everything that doesn't serve you, any stagnant energy, anything that's left over. Allowing the mind to quiet, all the thoughts and worries stress, overload of information. Allow it all to quiet and soften. Allow the thoughts to pass like clouds in the sky, focusing on that breath, filling up the belly, the chest, and the throat, pausing and exhaling the throat, the chest, and the belly. Feeling yourself rooting in your seat even more. From your seat bones, visualize roots spreading out into the earth and feel yourself here. Quiet mind, filled with gratitude, right here, right now. Everything else has fallen away. Continue with your breath throughout this practice, where we're going to move our bodies, be good to ourselves, move in ways that we maybe haven't moved for a while. Be mindful of any injuries you might have or your level of practice. Be mindful of my directions and anything that doesn't serve you, that feels like it's a bit too much of a push. Absolutely, the body might say no, and that's okay, and it's our job to listen to it. So please listen to your bodies, listen to yourselves, listen to the directions, take my words for what they're worth. And I really appreciate you all being here, being where you are, being open and trying something new, or being open to feeling a new way. That's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much. Feeling that breath, feeling that connection, feeling yourself in the space that you're in. I invite you now to make an intention for yourself, for this practice, for today, for this whole period of isolation and introspection. Whatever that might be to you. Find a phrase, find a word, find something, and repeat it to yourself 3 times, in your mind, out loud, however you like. Now wherever you're seated, just bring your hands up to your heart center, palm to palm, uniting the left side and the right side of yourself with your hands. Allow the fingers to spread open, lotus mudra. Visualize this lotus flower in your hands, visualizing it filling up with all the rays of the sun. Maybe you're outside and you can actually feel the sun rays on your hands. Feel it filling up with all of nature's love, with all of the energy of creation, with all the energy of light. Feel that. Visualize every inhale bringing in light and every exhale releasing. Close your hands and bring them back to your chest. Maybe place your palms on your chest and feel that light soaking into your body. Inhale, exhale. Inhaling light, exhaling light. Feel yourself here now, filling up with light, connected to earth and nature. And slowly release your hands down. back to your thighs or your knees. Maybe blinking the eyes open if they're not already open. Staying mindful with the breath always. I'm aware people may have just joined. So we're going to go into our movement flow now. We're going to get into our bodies, following the breath, that deep, rippling, flowing breath that is natural to you. Do not pass judgments on your breath. Do not try and hold it. If you notice you've stopped breathing, it's good to start breathing again. So here we are in a nice seated position, legs crossed, however is comfortable to you. Inhale, both arms over your head. The palms meet in the center. And exhale, the right arm down to the ground. And reach over that left arm. Reaching. Feeling a good side body stretch. Keeping the left seat bone planted on the ground. Just reaching over to the side. Still breathing. Inhale, reaching, lengthening. And exhale, maybe a little bit further into the stretch. 2 more breaths here. And inhale, coming back up to the center, raising both arms up again, hands meet. And exhale to the other side, left hand or whichever hand you didn't do. Down to the mat, reaching over with the right arm, keeping the right seat bone rooted to the ground. Inhale, lengthening the spine, and exhale, deepening the stretch. Two more breaths. And inhale, coming back up to the center, and hands meet. Inhale, reach up to the sky, and exhale, place the left hand behind the seat bones and the right hand on the left knee, and take the gaze over the left shoulder, finding a twist. Inhale, lengthen up to the sky, and exhale, deepen the twist slightly. Gently, gently. We're just getting into our bodies still. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more breath. And inhale, coming back to the center, raising the arms above the head, feeling the palms meet, lengthening the spine. Exhale, take the right hand behind this time and the left hand to the right knee, and take the gaze over the right shoulder. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist a bit deeper. Two more rounds of breath. Inhaling, coming back to the center, taking the hands to the knees this time, and feel yourself in the center again. Feel your seat bones rooted. Feel the benefit already you're feeling in your back. Our spinal cord only gets nourishment through movement. It has no blood supply, so it's very important to move your spine in every way that you can, every day, especially in these times when we're not getting our normal exercise. And now inhaling, dropping the navel forward, opening up the chest and looking up to the sky. A seated cow. And exhale, curve the spine, rolling back into a seated cat. Inhale forward, dropping the belly forward. And exhale, curving the spine, flowing like this. About 3 more times. It might feel a bit stupid, but you're at home, no one cares, no one can see you, no one's judging you. Don't judge yourself. Love yourself. And now taking this movement round in a circle, this one's even more fun. So round to the sides, inhale to the front, exhaling as you curve the back, round to the back. A nice Sufi grind, getting into the hips, getting into the spine. Change directions. Exhale as you curve. Inhale as you're forward arching. Exhale as you curve. Connect with your inner Shakira, she-wolf, whatever. Find any movements that might feel good now, anything. Last little bit seated before we get into the heavier stuff. Still not that heavy. Rolling the shoulders maybe forwards and backwards. Now, however it's best for you, I don't know how everyone's seated, but find yourself in all fours. Hands, fingers splayed, spread out really wide. Stretching those fingers. Your wrists stacked directly underneath your shoulders and your knees directly underneath your hips. Pushing the mat away, putting space between the shoulder blades. Avoid sinking in like this. Pushing the mat away. And tuck the pelvis just slightly, engaging the abs. So this is a nice aligned tabletop position. Quite a few of our exercises will start like this today. So really feel the way that you can engage the right form and feel your muscles working. And now start circling the shoulders around the wrists, keeping the fingers splayed. Small circles to begin with, nice and gently, staying with your breath, inhaling forward, exhaling backwards, keeping the space between the shoulder blades all the time, feeling those hands, those forearms, the wrists warming up. If we're spending lots of time on computers, our hands and our forearms can get quite tense. Or if we're writing and we're drawing, spreading our creative wings in this time at home alone. It's good to stretch out the hands. And to the other side, circling. Small circles to begin with. Maybe slightly larger. Now taking the fingers to face the outside of the mat. Find a side-to-side motion, stretching into the forearms now. Feeling that stretch. Or if you want to go a bit further, if this isn't enough for you, face the fingertips to the knees and pitch backwards. Feel that stretch in the forearms. Trying to keep the heels of the hands on the ground. Again, engaging the shoulders, not sinking in. Nice engaged position here. And wherever you are, come back to all fours. Fingers facing front. Wrists underneath shoulders. Knees underneath hips. Tuck the toes now. Right back here. Tuck them underneath. Maybe you want to lift the knees and spread the toes out. Still hips width apart. Placing the knees down. Sit back on those toes. Broken toe squat. You might be here, you might be here, you might be here, you might be here. Wherever it feels good for you, that feels achievable for you, that's going to give you some benefit in your feet. This pose here stretches out all the fascia in your feet. A really important part of your neurological programming of the messages going through your body is in your fascia, and it collects in your hands, the top of your head and your feet. So it's really powerful for your immune system and your chemical messages getting through your body, stretching your feet, something we don't do enough. That's probably enough for all of us on the feet there. Tap them out. Nice. Coming back to a tabletop position here. Is this better? That's better. Lovely stuff. And we're going to stretch the right leg back, hooking the toes, and then the left leg back, and find ourselves in a plank position. Tucking the pelvis, keeping the space between the shoulder blades. 2 more breaths here. And now slowly bending the legs, walk the hands up towards the feet, keeping the knees bent, relax the spine, flop the whole body over, shake your head, nod your head, maybe hold your opposite elbows, feel your whole body hanging, your whole spine decompressing, gravity working the opposite way. If you've got neck pain, this might be quite strong for you. Listen to your body. Maybe straightening the legs if that feels right to you. And now bending in the knees, rolling up through every vertebra of the spine, keeping the knees bent. Rolling up, slowly. And the head is the last thing to come up. Find yourself in a standing position. As we were spreading our fingers, we're spreading our toes nice and wide. Our feet are hips width apart, stacking our hips on our heels, our shoulders on our hips, and our head on our shoulders. We find ourselves here. Feel now yourself, once again, scanning your body, the straight line of your spine, now through your legs, through your feet, feel the roots spreading through the earth. Maybe close your eyes, take your attention inwards again, and come back to your breath. Perhaps your mind has started to chatter again. The anxious thoughts, or newsreel audio playing in your head. Allow that all to pass with each exhale. See it go past you like a car on the street, like a train on the track. Allow that breath, that inhale and exhale to wash through you, and your mind become calm. Blinking the eyes open if they were closed. Bring the hands to heart center. Inhale, swooping the hands above the head. And exhale, bending at the waist, keeping the legs straight. Forward fold. As far down as is right for you. Maybe bending the legs. And inhale, come up to half lift. So fingertips on the mat, back straight. On the shins or the thighs, as long as the spine is straight. Bend the knees if you need to. Plant the hands and step back, left foot and right foot into plank. Once again, the pelvis tucked, abs engaged. Space between the shoulder blades and fingers spread out. Drop the knees. And exhale, pitching forward slightly, bending the elbows into the ribs, and lower yourself slowly down to the mat. Placing the hands under the shoulders. Inhale, arch the back and look forward. Exhale, release. And inhale, pushing up with your hands through all fours, tucking the toes, lifting the hips up to the sky. Find a downward facing dog. So this is our base vinyasa flow. We're going to do a few of them. So if this feels right for you, continue with this. With the plank, bending the knees and lowering down to the ground. Or I'll show some different variations the next few times we go around. So while we're here in downward facing dog, we've got space between our shoulder blades again. We're pushing the ground away. Our hips are tucked. We do not arch the back. Keeping the abs engaged and bringing the heels as close to the ground as we can. You might be here. You might be here. You might be here. This is also fine. Downward dog is a resting position. It might not feel that way, but it is. So wherever you need to come in that flow to find your rest between the work. So if we're here, we can take a little shake out of the head, a little nod of the head in downward dog. Last breath in downward dog now. Keep the eyes forward. Step in again, left foot and the right foot, hips width apart, keeping the knees bent. Halfway lift, straighten the legs. You might be at the shins or the thighs. Exhale again, forward fold. Legs can be bent again or straight. Then inhale, pitching at the waist. Coming back up to standing. Hands meet and come to heart center. So we're starting to build up this heat in our body, this energy. And if we've been still and stagnant for a while now, I know some people have been in for 10 days or more, it's good to build up that heat, that fire in your belly and keep everything flowing. So we'll go one more round like this. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center, bending at the waist. Find your forward fold. Legs can be bent. Inhale, halfway lift, fingers tips to the mat, the shins or the thighs. Exhale, plant the hands, bend the knees, step back, right foot this time, and left foot into plank. Fingers are spread, shoulder blades apart, hips tucked. Dropping the knees down, finding modified plank, and exhaling, bending the elbows into the ribs and lower yourself down. Inhaling, hands under the shoulders, lifting the heart forward, gaze comes forward, baby cobra. Exhale, lower down, pressing through the hands, shifting through all fours, tucking the toes, finding your downward facing dog, wherever that might be, or your tabletop. Option here to walk out the feet, move the hips, whatever feels right. Maybe flow through the spine a little bit. Whatever you want to do right now. We're still warming up, we're still building it up. Feel those shoulders firing up. And inhale, take the gaze between the hands. Right foot again comes forward and the left foot to meet it. Legs are bent. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, rising at the waist again. Hinging up to standing again. So if this feels right for us, we can continue with the vinyasas, putting the knees down and bending down all the way to the ground and relaxing there to find our upward facing. Or we can flow if it's in our practice already and we know what we're doing. Or if you want to try it, go for it. I'll cue you through, we'll flow through one more vinyasa, then we'll get into something else. But whatever vinyasa feels like it suits you best, go with that. Listen to your bodies. It might say no, and listen. So in standard position again, inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the waist. Inhale, halfway lift to the shins or to the thighs. Exhale, plant the hands, and if it's in your practice, jumping to chaturanga, and then inhaling forward to upward facing dog, exhaling, tucking the toes to downward facing. Feel free. Or if we want to continue with stepping back, we can try lowering down from a plank position, shifting forwards to an upward facing dog. So with that one, you skip the jump, the hop back, but you get maybe a little bit more for the core, a little bit more for the arms. Whatever you need most, follow what you need, follow your intuition. But those are our three options. So we can step back, drop the knees and lower. We can step back and lower and shift forward to an upward facing. Or we can jump to chaturanga and shift forward to upward facing. But whatever feels best for us, we'll always meet in a downward facing dog together, so we'll flow through that. Find a rest here. 2 more breaths in downward facing. And inhale the gaze between the hands, stepping up or hopping up to the hand. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hinging at the waist. Coming back to standing. So we'll flow through one more. It might be a lot. Anytime you need a rest, take one. Whatever you need. Inhale, arms above the head. Exhale, hinging at the waist. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping back with your other foot or hopping back. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog or tabletop. Two more breaths here, a little rest. Or we can come to a child's pose. Taking the arms behind us if your arms feel a bit dead. Coming back to that breath if you've lost yourself. Quieting that mind again. Releasing judgments, expectations, focusing on gratitude. Meeting back in downward facing dog. We'll shift forward into a plank position once more. Again, you can drop the knees. If this is too strong for you, or if it's too strong now because you've used your energy, drop those knees. Find a plank position. Don't arch the back, keep the pelvis tucked and the abs engaged and the shoulders blades spread apart, pushing the ground away. We'll come to our plank or our modified plank, lifting up that right foot and bringing it into the chest, or from modified, same way, and find yourself in a low lunge, turning that left foot to 45 degrees, the toes facing the top left corner of the mat. Find yourself in a warrior one, pushing up, hinging at the waist. The hips are square to the front of the mat. Front leg, the knee is above the heel. The back foot, you're pressing into that outside edge of your left foot. Finding length in the spine. 2 more breaths here. If Warrior 3 is in your practice, or if you want to try it, we're going to slowly lift up the back heel on the left foot, shifting the weight onto the right leg, straightening that right leg, pitching the body forward, stretching the left leg out behind you. Find a focus point, a drishti on the floor in front of you. Feeling the length in the spine. Feeling 2 energy points on your left heel and the top of your head, and they're pulling apart. Drop down, find a lunge. Place the hands down on the ground. That one fires up that butt cheek. That's nice. So taking the hands down to the ground and the right foot underneath your heart and the leg at right angles. If this is too hard, maybe you have something, a book or something you can put your hands on to lift your body up. Or you can be up here, whatever feels right. Feel that lunge, that stretch in that back left quad, the hip flexor. Breathe into it. We're firing up this leg. Take the hands down, the back knee down, untuck those toes. And now shift your hips backwards, bending that left foot, straightening your right leg out in front of you, or as straight as it feels. Once again, if you have blocks, you can lift your body higher, or books. We'll find a stretch in that hamstring, that right hamstring there. Sit back as far as feels good. Relax the head down. Find that hamstring stretch. And a little bit of relief for that quad that we just fired up. Shifting forward once again. Keeping the knee on the ground this time. Walk the hands up to the thigh. Find a little high release. Sinking deep into that hip flex this time. Avoid shifting too far over this front leg. Keep your shin perpendicular to the floor and your knee directly above your heel. And that might mean that you're here. Wherever is best for you. 2 more breaths here, feeling that hip flexor. Maybe you want to open the heart space. You want to find some movement. Or a little back bend. Walk the hands back down to the ground. And if you're going to plank, tuck your toes, lift up your knee, suck this leg up, hold it for a second, come to plank with one leg up, the right leg still up in the sky, and lower it down. Drop the knees, bend in the elbows, exhale, all the way to the ground. Take a moment to chill out here. If it feels right for you. Turning your head whichever way feels right. Feeling your heart against the ground. Taking those hands underneath those shoulders again. Tucking the toes. Pushing up through tabletop. And we'll take the child's pose. Forehead to the mat. Releasing the arms. Take a moment for your breath. Take the hands back in front of you. Shift forward to a tabletop once more. Stepping back right and left this time to plank. And whichever way you did before, find yourself with your left foot in between your hands. and your hands either side of your left foot, underneath your heart. Find that low lunge. Maybe you're on books again, or blocks. Maybe you're on your fingertips, maybe you're here. Whatever feels right. Keeping that knee above that heel. Taking the hands down to the mat once more, dropping the knee. Shifting the hips back, stretching out the left foot this time. Slight bend in the knee still, protecting the knee joint. Pointing the toes up to the sky, or flattening the palm of the foot to the floor. Whatever feels right for you. Maybe you're up here. Maybe you're up here. Whatever feels right. Use something to stabilize you if you've got it. Relax that head. Shifting forward once more, keeping the knee on the ground this time, and walking the hands up to the thigh. Sinking deep into that lunge. Once again, my knee is above my heel in the front leg, the left leg, and I'm stretching my right hip flexor. Don't sink too far in, that's too much for this knee joint. So step, shift it back, the knee above the heel. Maybe finding a heart opener again. Whatever feels right, you can clasp the hands. You can take prayer hands over the head. Or you can simply high release up to the sky. Coming back down, the hands to the mat, tuck the toes. And suck that leg up underneath your body. Take it back into a plank. Lower the knees or stay in plank. Shift forward, tuck the elbows into the ribs, lower down. Inhale, shifting forward to upward facing. Exhale to a downward facing. Or your tabletop, wherever you are. Take a rest wherever you are in downward facing. Feel that alignment, your hips the highest point. Or shifting down to a child's pose. Anytime that suits you, obviously. Option to take it here now. In your own time, find yourself in a tabletop again. We're still spreading the hands, engaging the fingers, and rotating the elbows, the eye of the elbows forwards. Space between the shoulder blades, the hips tucked, hips over knees, a good strong tabletop. On your next inhale, stretch your right leg towards the back of the mat and lift it up to the sky. Exhale, reach the opposite left hand forward, finding yourself in a Superman. Keep pushing away, pushing the mat away with this right hand, engaging that shoulder. Rather than relying on our joints to hold us there, make the muscles hold you there. Feel tension pulling your left arm forward, your right foot back. And keep those hips tucked, the abs engaged. 2 more breaths here. And release down, back to all fours. So as with yoga, we're balancing the body, so of course we have to do the other side. So inhale, stretch the left toes to the back and lift up, perpendicular to the floor. Exhale, the right arm forwards. Keep pushing the mat away with that left arm. Find space between the shoulder blades. Keep the hips tucked, the abs engaged. Reaching and pulling That state of tension holding you there with as little effort as possible. And release down. How are we all feeling? Are we good? Take a moment. Maybe take a rest in child's pose. Catch your breath for a minute. Amazing. So we're here in child's pose, our forehead on the ground. Feeling the spine relax, lower back lengthening. Take your right hand and place it on top of your left hand and find a side body stretch there in the right side body and feel yourself melt into it. With every exhale, relaxing further, holding those deep breaths throughout your practice. Tapping into that vagus nerve is very important for your immune system. And deep breathing is proven to activate that, the regeneration of your body. Feel yourself sink. Release the right hand, take it back. And take the left hand on top of the right hand. And find a side body stretch in the other side. Feel yourself relax. Deep breaths, each exhale, melting you more. And take the left hand back. Shift yourself forward into a tabletop once more. Maybe you need to adjust to put your wrists under your shoulders. And find that strong tabletop position once more. When you have correct form and alignment in poses that seem so simple, you actually realize how much effort you need to hold yourself there aligned. And we're so out of practice with holding ourselves aligned, especially in this time when we're laying on the couch or laying hopefully in the sun. We can be in all sorts of positions for a very long time, so feeling those shoulders are fired up now, probably. Tuck those toes. Shift, lifting the knees, shifting the hips up. Find a downward facing dog, wherever your variation is. Find yourself there. It probably feels easier now on your hamstrings. Inhale, take the gaze between the hands. And step your left foot to the outside of your left hand and your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Find yourself in a Yogi Squat. So hands in prayer position, the elbows are in the knees. You can use the hands pushing together to push the knees further apart. And when we're sitting down, as low as we can. There is, everyone's different, everyone's built differently. So, you may be here. In which case, it's probably a lot tougher on your muscles. But you're still working, stretching for the same thing, getting the same benefits of squatting. It's really good for your organs, for your nervous system. And we'll just take a moment here. 2 more breaths. And then however is easiest to you, I'm just going to sit my bum down and roll down to a seated position and find myself laying. So the soles of my feet are still on the floor, my knees up to the sky, my spine long against the floor. Can you see my legs? Yeah. And we're laying down now. Find ourselves relaxing. Feel that breath, super deep now. Touch back with it and notice the changes. Notice how it feels now to breathe. Feel that gratitude for beautiful, bright, light breath flowing through you. And let it radiate throughout your entire body. Keeping the left sole of the foot still on the floor, the knees bent. Hug your right knee into your chest. Feel that in your hip flexor, that little massage of squeezing that in. And now straightening the leg up towards the sky as much as feels right for you. You can keep a bend in your leg. You can grip behind the quad, behind the knee, or up at the ankle behind the shin. Or you can take your 2 fingers, your peace fingers, around your big toe. Trying in any of these variations to keep your shoulders on the ground. So if we're here, my shoulders are on the ground. If I'm here, my shoulders are on the ground. If I'm here, my right shoulder is still on the ground. I'm not lifting up like this to make it look better. Keep a micro bend in that knee that you're stretching. Locking the joint there is a less helpful way for you to actually stretch your muscles. You end up stretching a lot more ligaments this way. If you have a micro bend, you can stretch. So that's about 5 breaths here. And slowly, wherever you are, if you're here, or on your thigh, or your fingers are on your toe, just open that hip out to the side. Find that balancing point, keeping your left hip also on the mat. So we're not coming off like this. We're keeping both hips planted on the mat, and we're taking our right leg out to the side. Once again, the shoulders on the mat, and the hip is on the mat. One last breath here. And inhale, bring that leg back up. Release your bind wherever you are. And slowly take that right foot, the sole of the foot, once more on the mat. And just relax there. Inhale, drawing that left thigh up to the chest, hugging it in, massaging it in, finding something that feels nice. And then stretching up, finding it might be different on this side. No 2 sides of the body are exactly the same, but we do everything on both sides to balance them out in yoga. So everything we do on each side, we make sure we do it on both sides. So here, I'm stretching the leg up to the sky. I'm finding whatever bind feels right for me. Is it again up to the toes? Or is it down to the ankle this time? whatever we are, keeping our shoulders on the ground. Keeping both hips on the ground and our shoulders on the ground. Micro bending that left knee again. Keeping this hip straight. Try to avoid falling out to the side. Breathing white light into that hamstring, into the back of the quadricep there. And now opening that hip up to the sky, to the side, I suppose to the sky. Finding wherever feels best for you. Keeping this right hip grounded, planted into the mat. Might be hard. You might want to take this hand out to the side. Or your hand onto your hip. Find wherever feels right for you. One more breath. And inhale back up. Release the bind, bend the leg, and slowly float it down. Hugging the knees into the chest. Make yourself as small as you can. Rock side to side, massage that spine. Maybe rock forwards and backwards. Feel the spine massaging against the floor. Be careful. And then find yourself in a seated position. I know we were laying down and I thought we were laying down, but now we're up here again. So take your hands just behind your hips, just below the base of your spine. So you can just about tickle your bum cheeks. The soles of the feet on the floor. And what we're going to do now is take a reverse tabletop. So engaging the hands, engaging the shoulders, finding space between the shoulder blades, pitching up forwards, tucking the hips, pushing the hips towards the sky, keeping the spine straight and the neck engaged. Avoid losing the neck towards the back. There's lots of nerves at the base of your neck, and it's not very good to compress them all the time. So find yourself here and release yourself down. A reverse tabletop. We're going to take one more. So inhale, exhale, and inhaling, lifting the hips towards the sky. Find yourself in reverse tabletop again, pushing the ground away, opening up that chest again. You can feel it now, can't you? And exhaling, lowering down. Sitting forward, taking the hands to the top of the shins. Curve your spine, tuck your pelvis, roll down, vertebra by vertebra, super slowly, gripping onto your legs or whatever to hold you. And then find yourself laying down. We can windscreen wipe at the legs. Take them to the outside of the mat and drop the knees to the left, to the right, and to the left and the right. Kind of just flopping around, moving the hips. Your hands are by your sides, palms down. Take your heels in towards your bum so that you can just about tickle your heels with your hands. And inhale, lifting up your hips towards the sky. Finding a bridge pose. Avoid clenching the butt cheeks too much. The less tension in your glutes, the more space in your lower back to find a little bit more of a back bend. Again, listen to your body. Listen to what's right. Exhale, lower it down, vertebra by vertebra, and find yourself down again. And once more, inhale, lifting the hips towards the sky. Option here, if it's in your practice, to walk your shoulders underneath and clasp your hands. Finds a little bit more space. Keep breathing. If you lose your breath, maybe you've gone too far. And release the hands, release the shoulders, roll down vertebra by vertebra. An option here now to go to wheel pose. Like I said, opening the chest, wheel's a great way to do this. If it's in your practice, be careful, look after yourselves. But placing the hands under the shoulders, if you want, if you don't feel that wheel is calling you today, feel free to take another bridge pose and we'll meet back down afterwards. So if you're taking the wheel, take the hands underneath the shoulders, facing towards the heels. Inhale, pushing up, finding your wheel. Maybe straightening the legs. Maybe just playing around, connecting with our inner child. And then lower yourself down when it feels right to you, tucking the head, vertebra by vertebra. And let's meet, laying on the ground, and let's hug our knees into our chest. So release that right leg down towards the mat, straight out in front of you, nice and relaxed, hugging that left knee in still with both hands. And take your left hand out to the side in a straight line, right angle to the side, and shift that left knee over to the right hand side, finding a twist, keeping your left shoulder on the floor, and taking the gaze last over to the left. And finding a nice deep twist. Really relaxing now. Last breath here. And slowly untwisting, coming back to the center, hugging that left knee in, last time, and release that left leg out to the mat. Inhale, hugging that right thigh in, giving it a good squeeze. Taking your right arm, right ankles out to the side, and twisting over, taking the right leg to the left side, keeping the gaze, taking the gaze to the right side, keeping the right shoulder on the ground, finding a twist. Stay with your breath. And slowly, when it feels right to you, untwisting, coming back to center, and releasing that right leg down to the ground. Any last positions that anybody wants to do? I think it's about time. Oh yes. So I'm going to take a happy baby. I'm bringing my legs up to my chest, taking the outside edges of my feet and sinking my knees into my armpits. And I'm just chilling out. Feeling my spine on the ground. Maybe a little bit of movement if it feels right, whatever feels right to you. And maybe if you're near a wall or a window or something, or your bed, you want to take your legs up the wall. Feel that blood drain from your legs. If we're sitting a lot at the moment, which I'm sure we are, I am, this feels so good. Coming to the end of our practice, feeling all of our work today sinking in. Allowing all of those endorphins, all of that bliss, that energy just flow through us. Everything we've cultivated today in this practice, flowing through our body for the rest of the day. The energies within us dancing, filled with light and connectedness and gratitude for Mother Earth and those around us, and for new opportunities and exciting things we can experience in a new way. Feeling it all flow through us. A state of calm, relaxation, everything just melting away, all of the chatter, all melting away. Just you, here, now. And wherever you've ended up, find yourself comfortable. Maybe you're laying, maybe you're sitting. However feels good for you. And just allow everything to fade away and float away. Allowing your practice to sink in. Releasing any of those judgments. Releasing anything that doesn't serve you. And in your own time, finding yourself in a seated position, slowly, gently, keeping the eyes closed. Find yourself in a comfortable seated position, like where we started. Hands on the thighs or the knees, or the heart space. Feel that gratitude you have for yourself. You did this, you brought yourself here, you tuned in, you participated as much as you did. You did that, you tried something new and you were open. Feel that gratitude for yourself. Thank you for giving me a chance, thank you for giving yourself a chance. And thanks for all being in it together. Feel that connectedness with all 21 of us that are tuned in right now, all doing the same thing. Feeling us like little lights across the country or the county or the town or the world. All connected. I am light, you are light, we are light. Namaste. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to play my little bowl. I'm going to bring us all back. Thanks so much, you guys. This was really fun. And I think we're going to do one a week or something like that. But stay tuned for updates. Thank you, guys. Thank you all so much. This was a really nice experience for me. And it's early. It's like 12:05. Everyone's still got some time. If you've got a garden, go outside. Feel that nature, feel that sun. We need it. Eat some fruits, drink some water. Take time for yourself and be still. And thank you, guys. And if anyone wants to message me about anything, feel free. I'm here. I've got time. All of that stuff. Thank you, guys. Thanks so much. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so glad you feel so great. Thank you. I don't know how long I should stay on. I think everyone wants to say, oh, I love you guys. This was so nice. Oh, Jack. So nice. And Taylor and Anna. Oh, my gosh. Thank you, guys. Okay. Love you all. Until next time.